Welcome back to the Asylum.
I'm Kane.
And I'm Jashawn.
And we
are the Arkham Inmates. And today we have a brand new segment. All my idea. Right?
Yeah.
It was all me.
Yeah, it was all him.
It's called Headcanons.
Now that was my idea.
He came up with the
name. You gotta give it some up. It's called Headcanon.
So basically, if you don't know what a headcanon is, it's basically what you think the story should be like based off of a character.
Or a franchise.
So, for an example, like in Marvel, let's say your headcanon is Captain America never left. He stayed with Bucky, and they were best friends, and he was teaching him how to live in the real world.
Like one of my favorite headcanons, which they do this in the comics, and like there's probably comics about anything that you come up with.
Exactly.
But like one of my headcanons, which is like Sabretooth and Wolverine are brothers in my head, because it just makes every dynamic with them so much better. And they've now, like Deadpool and Wolverine, they called him brother. Oh, it's your brother. And in X-Men Origins Wolverine, they call them brothers. So the movies kind of play with that, but in the comics, they're not brothers. They're like, but I've always thought of them as just brothers.
It's better.
And that's my headcanon.
So for this segment, we'll be going back and forth with one specific genre of like a movie or whatever. And this one, we'll be doing Harry Potter.
Yep.
So we'll be picking. That's my boy.
That's my son.
So we'll be going back to back with 10 characters.
Per character, yeah.
I'll say my headcanon, he'll say his, and whichever one we think is better,
that's what get the point. So basically, like the Fancast Friday, we don't know what each other wrote, and a lot of these could be ones that are our personal headcanons or really good ones that we found from other people's types of headcanons.
Yep.
So an example, we would start with a character. So like if we did a Marvel one, we'd start with Wolverine, and we would both do a headcanon for that one character. Whoever's got the best one wins. That's kind of how it goes. But for this episode of Head to Head Canon, we're doing Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Let's get into that. All right, so we are going to start with the main boy, the boy who lived, come to die, Harry Potter. So round one is Harry Potter. Jashawn, how about you go first?
All right, for Harry, I got, for Christmas, the Potters hang a stocking up every year in honor of Dobby, because with the sock, he freed him.
Okay.
So when he died,
that's pretty good. Yeah, that was such a just sad moment. Okay, every year they hang a sock.
It's a little stocking.
Yeah,
for
a little
Dobby.
stocking for Dobby. Okay, all right, that sounds pretty good. Mine, I have Harry's 22nd birthday was the hardest one for him because it officially made him older than both his parents.
Okay. I wish we had the third party here.
I know. Third party would help. Because I'm just going to say mine.
I'm going to say mine.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
I am going to say I think yours does not hit as hard as mine. I feel like his parents' death is his whole thing, and him being older than his own parents. That birthday being the hardest because he's, realizing it. I mean, the Dobby one's sweet, but like...
I'll give you yours.
You give me this?
I'll give you that.
Okay. All right, fine. All right. So first point goes to me for Harry Potter. Ronald Weasley. I will start since you went. After Ron and Hermione got married, Ron's Bogart changed to Hermione dying.
That's mine.
That's yours?
Yeah. Mine's different though. It went from spiders to Hermione screaming from Bellatrix torturing her. So
I guess tie.
Screams.
Both get a point.
Yeah, we both get a point.
We both get a point.
Right.
Okay, so we both get a point for that one.
Officially in the books, Hermione becomes a member of the Ministry of Magic.
Yeah.
But in my headcanon, Hermione never joins the Ministry. She starts a primary school to help Muggles adjust to the Muggleborns adjust to the magical lifestyle. So like how Hermione's like, my parents are dentists, and they're like, what the fuck is that? Because they don't have dentists.
Yeah.
So when you get to the magic world, you're gonna need someone to help you transition. They don't have that.
Okay, I really like that. Mine is she actually had a crush on Harry for the first part, but then when Ron sacrificed himself in the chess game for her and Harry, she fell in love with him. That's the exact moment in my headcanon. Like, they never really say it, but that's the exact moment that she actually was like, I actually like Harry. I mean, I actually like Ron.
I like mine because in the books,
I'll give you yours.
I'll give you
yours because she's an academic. She's an advocate for all these Muggleborns, and
I mean, in the books, she's also an advocate for the elves.
Yeah.
So she uses her position in the Ministry of Magic for
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'll give you that point. Let's move on to Hagrid. So, mine, it goes, Hagrid was Snape's best friend like he was to Harry growing up because him and Snape would have tea moments together in his hut, and that's why every time Harry or Ron go, "We hate Snape," he goes, "Oh, Snape's one of the best around."
Okay, that's cool.
Because in the movies and in the books, he's always like, Snape's amazing, Snape's well regarded, Snape's well trusted, and everyone's like, "Why do you love Snape so much?" He's like, "Oh, you don't need to know about that." And I feel like when like those tea times, like what we saw with Harry and them, I feel like he had that with Snape.
I've never personally.
That's how I've taken it.
Me writing Snape like that in the movies.
In the movies, he does, and in the books, he kind of does. But in the movies, he mainly does. Like when they're asking him and they think Snape's the one with the Sorcerer's Stone, that he's the one problem. He's like, it can never be him. He's amazing. Like he's saying, like he's one of the well-regarded
I think what
teachers.
he said. I think what he said was Dumbledore trusts him.
Well, yeah, but all throughout the moments, like other times in the movie, like where they're like, "Oh, Snape could be this," and they're like, "Stay away from Snape." Like he's kind of protecting Snape in a way where like it's not him and he knows it's not him. I was in my headcanon, I feel like Snape when he was a little kid was friends with Hagrid. You know? What do you got? What do you got?
So in the movies, in the what is it? The second one, Chamber of Secrets, we learned that Hagrid was actually expelled from Hogwarts because
of the spider. They thought he was the killer.
So in this one, and he was never reinstated. So officially, he's not allowed to perform magic. He does it every once in a while, but officially he's not. So my headcanon, Hagrid was reinstated by the Ministry, given a formal apology with a new wand. And when he learns new spells like a Patronus charm, his Patronus is Headwing, because it reminds him of the joy Harry brought to his life.
I saw that.
So I mixed a bit more into there.
Yeah. I saw that of his Patronus. People think it's going to be a monster or something crazy, but it's actually Headwing.
Because Harry brought so much joy into his life.
I'm gonna give you that one too, just because the Patronus one is really good. But I feel like the Snape one was more personal because that's one I came up with in my own head one. But I'll give you this one. I'll give you this point.
So I'm gonna leave by one.
You gave me the Harry one. So on to Snape. So you started off.
Snape hated Neville because he wasn't the chosen one, and he could have been. And since he wasn't, Voldemort went after Lily instead of his parents.
Oh.
So you know the story about Neville?
Okay, yeah.
So if you don't, Neville was... So the prophecy goes...
That's pretty good.
A child born at the end of July would be the rival for Voldemort. And I think it was like 3 times, like the parents of the child would have to intervene with Voldemort like 3 times. Try to stop him 3 times or something like that. And Voldemort... Harry and Neville's parents did it more than 3 times, and they were both born at the end of July. So, and it also said that
it just happened to be
whoever he goes after is who he's going to choose as the person that will rival him for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
So he went after Harry and not Neville, and he killed Lily's parents. So Snape resents Neville because
he loves Lily. Okay, that's pretty good. I have Snape has the same nightmare of Lily dying every single night, so he makes potions to keep himself awake as long as possible, and that's why he looks unhealthy and haunting with bags under his eyes, and always why he's the one at night that finds the kids out of their beds or catches Harry doing something.
You can have that. That's a good one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I really like when I wrote that, because I'm like, he's always like, in every movie, Harry gets caught at night by Snape.
So, yeah.
It's always Snape like, "What are you doing, Harry? Potter?" Like, and I'm like, does this fucker ever sleep? Like, he's always just moving around.
That one?
Yeah, that was my personal headcanon. That was like, I feel like, because in every movie, we never see him sleeping. He's always at night. He's always one of the night watch people, and he catches everybody. Yeah. So it's kind of like he's always awake, and I'm like, well, what would be the reason of that? And he's like, he's probably has just nightmares of her dying, and him being a part of his allegiance, loosely, of Voldemort, and like, just that guilt. And he's a potion master. So keeping him awake so he never sleeps. Straight to Dumbledore.
Go first.
Okay. He knew that the mirror that was holding the Sorcerer's Stone to be acquired was literally the only protection they needed. So all other challenges was to see if Harry and his friends would actually work together and complete them. All of it was a test. He knew that Voldemort would not get the stone.
That's okay.
So like the whole first part of the movie was kind of just a test of Harry.
Mine is... not after the war, but Dumbledore appeared for every student that died in the Hogwarts battle, just like he did for Harry. When Harry died, and then he saw Dumbledore, but he came back with the stone.
Every single student?
So every one of his students that died during the final battle on Hogwarts ground, he appeared for them to comfort them after death.
You can have that one. That's pretty dope. You can have that one. All right, so let's do Draco now.
Draco went to Fred's funeral but stood far away because he regretted his life choices. Because he was always a bully to the Weasleys, and after the war, he was kind of regretful for things. So he went to the funeral, but he stood far away. Like, damn.
Because like if you know past the movies, like past like into the books and like the future of it, like he actually like he like regrets everything his father taught him.
Yep.
And like his father kind of not disowns him, but like is like he like
disowns his ways, his mentality.
100%.
But I'm pissed. Can I say real quick that they deleted that scene where he throws the wand?
Yeah.
That's such a good fucking scene.
So I think mine's kind of on par with you. So I said Draco actually cares a lot about Hogwarts and being a part of the school and being a part of Slytherin other than Voldemort's wishes, because in the first books and first movies he loves playing in Quidditch and loves being a part of Hogwarts. But his father and his family's alliance to Voldemort and their perspectives about Muggles has ruined his childhood innocence.
We're kind of tied because it's kind of the same
I
thing.
know.
It's just different because mine's...
Yours is kind of directly about Fred and regretting what he knows is wrong, and mine's more about he still is just he's playing the facade. Like he loves Hogwarts, he loves what he does, but it's.
You want to go tie?
I'll give you a tie, point per each. Okay, point per each. For Jenny Weasley, at Harry and Jenny's wedding, Jenny danced with George twice for Fred.
Yep, I saw that one.
Yeah, that one was so sweet.
Mine's more funny because it's a personal opinion. Mine for Jenny is she thought the name Albus Severus Potter was stupid.
Like, Albus
Severus Potter.
Yeah,
like that whole full.
Yeah.
That's a fucking mouthful. Like she gets the, trying to
meaning.
honor them.
Yeah.
But like, bro, you're gonna name your kid Albus Severus.
So it's more of just she thought that was dumb.
Yeah.
Mine beat that. Come on.
Yeah.
I was about to say like that's so sweet.
So you're 1 point above me.
All right.
George can't have any mirrors in his house because all he sees is Fred. And as an old man, he'll cry to himself because the only time he saw his brother as an old man is when they put their names in the goblet of fire.
Mine's kind of like that. Mine's so close. Okay, so my George is whenever George would have a drink, he would stare into the mirror, get drunk as hell, and talk to the mirror for hours like he's pretending to talk to Fred. Another tie?
It's tie.
Fuck, alright, another tie. I'm still ahead by one, but
yeah, I think I'm gonna win this Fred one.
Alright, let's see with Fred.
So you first.
Mine's stupid.
Go ahead.
Mine's dumb. So Fred would always change his name to George whenever he'd get in trouble with teachers, but it wouldn't amount to anything because George would do the same and they'd both end up in trouble.
Mine's beating yours.
Okay.
Fred becomes a ghost in Hogwarts and pulls pranks on all the new kids. They have the ghosts in the bathroom, the girl, and they have.
But isn't the reason that the ghosts are there is because they feared death? So they never wanted to leave. I thought I explained it in the books that like the reason we have like the headless guy and like all of them is because they didn't want to die, so they stayed on the earth, and all the warriors that actually accept death leave.
I don't think Fred would have wanted to have died because of George.
So you think he chose to stay as a ghost?
And then he pulls pranks on all the kids.
I'll give you that one. Yeah, Fred was just more funny one. So for Sirius Black, so you got to start it off.
Black and Harry both used each other to replace James. Because
100%.
Because he looks like James, looks like his best friend that he lost.
I think mine beats you because mine's like my own personal stuff. But I said Black's dog form is directly correlated with his emotions and willpower and can get a lot bigger and stronger. But since he was held in Azkaban for so long and his depression of losing James, he is a skinny, regular like junk dog.
I'll give you that one. That's a good one.
Yeah. Because like the way that they show him, it's just like a regular dog. But I feel like in the books, like he's a what's it called? He can metamorphose into a dog. Like he's not a werewolf. What's it called? He's he's something else. Like Sirius Black, he can Animagus.
An Animagus, yeah.
An Animagus, able to transform into a black dog.
Yeah, he's an Animagus.
For Remus Lupin, I have this one's kind of funny. He loves chocolate so much, not because he actually likes it, but because the chemicals in it keep his werewolf urges low.
I saw that one. Mine was he has a son named Teddy.
Yeah.
Whenever Teddy gets upset, Harry gives him chocolate the way Lupin did for him. And he adopts Teddy in the books. He's his godfather since.
Yeah. That's kind of close to mine. The whole thing with chocolate because of the werewolf. That's another tie.
Tie? Cool.
Yeah.
So you're still 1 point ahead, and then we got Voldemort.
Yep. Time to edit with the Dark Lord himself, Voldemort. So, you started off.
He likes his appearance as a snake more because it reminds him that he's less of a muggle like his father and more.
Okay, I think I got you beat.
Okay, go ahead.
I think you beat you. This is my complete headcanon. I know it doesn't really correlate with the story, but it makes sense with it. As a teenager, he loved Quidditch and would play with his girlfriend, but one fateful day his girlfriend fell and died during a Quidditch match, so he tried to resurrect her, but Dumbledore stopped him and told him that death is inevitable for every wizard and witch on these grounds, which led to him finding ways to avoid death by creating Horcruxes.
No. Because we see, even as a child, he's a psychopath. He doesn't have
No,
feelings.
I know, but I'm saying, like, in my headcanon, like, the reason he, like... Because in the books, the reason that he's so feared of death is because he believes it's below him. Yeah. And I think that's just lame. Like, I'd like giving, like... Well, I don't know. I like giving dark characters tragedy.
Because even when he finds love in the books, it's not even... Like, when he has sex with Bellatrix and they have a daughter, it's not because of, like, love. It's just because...
Well, he doesn't believe in love.
Yeah, so, like, he wouldn't have a girlfriend.
He just believes in... No, I'm saying this is, like, the Tom Riddle... before anything, so he's just going to Hogwarts.
Because when he was a kid, even when Albus recruited him, he was like, I hurt people with my magic whenever they're pissing me off, and he's like,
he's a troubled boy. But that's why I'm saying he loves Quidditch, and then he has somewhat of a girlfriend. Like, he has, like, maybe this crush more would be, like, he has something, like, this girl dies, and then instead of mourning her, he's more in the sense of, like, oh, death is below me, I'm gonna bring her back. And Dumbledore's like, yeah, that's dark magic, don't do that. And he's like, nah, fuck you. Like, fine, if she's already dead, I will never die. So that leads him to Horcrux. That's just kind of my headcanon. Like, when I watch the movies, like I was coming up with that, like, just now. But I was coming up, I'm like, in the movies, like, why is he so obsessed with being immortal? And the whole idea, like, in the movies, they don't.
I don't feel like you have me beat, though, on that one. Because it just doesn't, like, go with his character. Like,
but I don't think yours is better than mine.
I don't think yours is better than mine at all, because it's like doesn't really make sense for his character.
Okay, well, in that regards, I don't think anyone wins. I think mine gives a little bit of tragedy to the character,
to a guy that has no feelings.
No, but it's not. Yeah, but it was a progression of no feelings. He wasn't born without feeling.
Yeah, because he was born with no feelings because his mother gave his father a love potion, and when your child's born, they grow without the ability to feel love.
Yeah, but I'm saying the idea of
that's like in the books. That's what happened to his mom.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
feel love. He's psycho.
When he found out that his whole conception is just a lie, then his idea of that's why, like, he's not really
go out of his way.
He's not really mourning his girlfriend.
But he wouldn't go out of his way to try and stop her from dying because he doesn't give a shit.
No, not stop her from dying, but, like, following dark magic to bring her back to see if he could do it as a wizard.
But he did it out of love in your headcanon. He didn't do it out
not out of love.
Read your headcanon again.
I didn't say anything about love. I was saying
he wouldn't have a
teenager,
girlfriend in the
he watched his girl. Well, okay, sure. He watched a girl that he had a crush on. I wrote girlfriend, but he watched his girlfriend fall and die in a Quidditch match, so he tried to bring her back, but Dumbledore stopped him and told him that death is inevitable for every wizard, which led to him seeking immortality through Horcruxes.
Yeah, but it was his girlfriend that he had a crush on, and he did that act out of love.
Okay, but in the books,
yeah,
what was his fascination with death?
Horcruxes?
Other than him being like, I want to be immortal because death is below me.
That's exactly it. He didn't want to die, so he wanted to find new ways to stay. He wanted to be immortal. That's what I'm saying. Your thing doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't. It's not better than mine. It's just not. He can't feel love.
But I don't think yours is better than mine.
What are you talking? This is like a one we'd have to have a third party for. There's no way that yours is beating mine because it doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't even go with his character. But at the end of the day, he loved that girl, had a crush on her, and did that to try and save her out of love. And he can't feel love because his mother slipped a magic potion to his father, and then he was born out of a magic potion spell, and he can't feel love because he was born out of that spell, because of the potion. I feel like you didn't know that part, and it kind of.
I did know that, but I was, like I said. Well, I said before that I said this goes against what he is in the books and movies, but it feels better for me. I will say this. Okay, I'll say it. For the sake of the video, you win. You'll get the point for this one. Okay, you beat me by 1 point.
No, we have a tie.
No, we don't have a tie. I'll give you the point.
Yeah, even if I have the point, we're tied now. You would have beaten me by 2 points, but now we're tied.
Oh, man, I've lost track of score.
Yeah,
I'll edit the score. The score will be up.
We should be tied right now.
All right, I'll give it to you. The winner for head.
But it was only by a point. So.
Yeah. It was good. We had a lot of the same that we had to give ties to. We were very connected.
I think in the future we should try and find a third party for like tiebreakers or something. At the very least for tiebreakers.
Yeah, something like that. Or we just be honest with ourselves. I mean, I think Voldemort should have won.
I'm gonna feel love even though I can't feel love.
That's not what I meant by that. It was more of a dark, like, obsession thing of like, oh, I want this thing that I can't have back. Oh, I can't have it back? Okay, well then I will find a way to, in fact, do that, but then selfishly puts it for himself. That's kind of how I was, I just worded it wrong.
And then selfishly puts it for himself.
I just was...
Because he originally did it on love.
No.
And then he selfishly does it.
All right, whatever.
You said it, not me.
Deshaun's the winner. Deshaun's the winner for the first episode.
Someone's bitter that Deshaun's the winner.
Yeah. Deshaun's the winner for the first episode of Head to Head Canon.
But that was fun.
And this is, that was fun. We're definitely going to do a bunch more of these different franchises. And we started Harry Potter just to do something completely different. Something that's not just superhero related or Marvel or DC or
still
not
nerdy, but, you know.
Yes, super nerdy, super, like, powerful people, you know, magic, things that are awesome that we grew up with. So definitely we're probably going to do a Marvel one of these, a DC one, maybe MCU. We're going to definitely do more of these. And either other franchises, maybe like Percy Jackson or some stuff like that. But other than that, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff down below. You already know how to do. And let us know if you like this new series that Jashaan created. Let us know if you want to see more head-to-head canons. But until then, thank you for being one of the inmates here at the asylum. Peace.